Joining us now, Vista Outdoors CEO Chris Metz. Chris, thanks for being back with us. It's interesting, even as we've seen the sales of some pandemic-boosted businesses begin to wane in recent months, the demand for outdoor activities continues. So why do you think that is? What do you attribute that resilience to?
Well, good morning, Morgan. I appreciate being back on and excited to talk about our business. As you highlighted in the preview, we're up 100% year to date on our stock price, 10% today. And kudos to what I think is the most talented workforce, or one of the most talented workforces in the industry. And the demand continues because people have discovered or rediscovered outdoor enjoyment and the gratification you get from recreation. And we're the biggest in the industry, so we're supporting the trend.
Yeah. I mean, we've been hearing about shortages in parts of the country for ammo. Ammunition sales were a particular area of strength for you this quarter, up almost 50% year on year. Can you make enough to meet demand?
Well, that's the problem right now, and it's really across the board. It's no secret that logistics, supply chain, all sorts of challenges from a material and a availability standpoint. But we're working as hard as we can. We're continuing to work overtime. We're continuing to hire more people to produce all of our coveted products. And demand certainly outpaces our ability to supply at this point. So it certainly portends for continued growth as we go forward.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sell guns, you sell ammunition, but firearm sales reached a record last year. We saw background checks and purchases are still very robust right now. That is a read-through to your shooting sports business. What do you attribute that to?
Well, what's interesting, Morgan, is the amount of new entrants to the industry is really what's driving it. It's a diverse, a much more inclusive industry. We've got hunting licenses that have grown to a level not seen since 1958, and it's trending younger, it's trending more gender diverse, and people are just embracing the field-to-table movement, and we see this continuing. And what's interesting is that it's a broad array of calibers. So sport shooting, where you're using shot shells, we can't make enough of them. All the hunting calibers, we can't make enough of them. All the enjoyment that people get from shooting sports in general just continues to drive this broad demand.
I imagine politics plays a role, too. I mean, historically, when we've seen a Democratic president in office, you've tended to see demand for firearms and thus ammunitions increase as well. I mean, we just had an election season that was very focused on safety and crime on both the local and state level. Just in the last couple of days, now questions about whether that changes the composition of Congress next year. Would that affect the conversation we're having? I realize we're still a ways off.
Well, what's interesting, Morgan, is the increase that we've seen in shooting sports enthusiasm started a year before President Biden walked into office, before he was even the nomination or the nominated candidate for the party. So certainly politics could play a role in it, and that may increase demand even more. But what we've seen to date is just the general enthusiasm for shooting sports. And what I find fascinating in our company is we've got 10 brands that are contributing over $100 million in sales each, and ammunition's got 3 of those 10 brands. So there's another 7 in the outdoor product segment that are growing as well.
Yeah, and certainly growth across the board, to your point. Thanks for joining us today. Stocks up 11%. Chris Metz.